Welcome to today's collective reading. This is a timeless reading. I wanted to focus kind of on where exactly it is that you're going. What are you co-creating? What is, coming for the collective? So let's start with the timeline here. So what exactly would like to be highlighted from the past? And we'll go into from the past. Okay, we actually have two here. Two cards that came out. So the strength of like manifesting once again the memory of the past, of what once was, a recapturing of it, like a freeze frame, and not just the image, the emotion, the feeling, the experience, even the smell, the touch, the temperature, the air, the way that even your clothing felt against your skin, the way you had your hair. All of this was so emotionally intense, the memory of it, that all this detail went into holding this within the self. You have this memory, and it sounds so incredibly complex, but all of that detail, all of that was really to retain the purity of the feeling, the emotion of what once was, and that you have been doing everything you can with all of your strength to hold on to this beautiful, fragile, almost, you're so protective of it, memory, experience of that feeling. All the detail around it is the detail around it. The purity of the experience, that's really what all that detail was there to help you maintain connection to. The assertive energy present here, we have, is this something that is still here? Is it something that is present? Is it, what's the difference between then and now? Is it not necessarily so much detail, but does the detail end up leading to the same pure, experience, emotion? The very thing that you're pursuing is not so much in the detail as the detail is periphery. It's supportive. It's the frosting, but not the cake, almost, right? So this constant tug of war in the assertive energies of, is this, is it not this? And then, the constant, and wanting the avoidance of the breaking of it, the complete shattering of it. It's so precious, you don't want to slip and fall and it shatter. That protective aspect to it. Yet the longing for it, the looking for it, is in itself its own unique kind of pain. But there is a assertive choice to allow, to pursue, to ask for guidance. And even though it hurts to feel and to integrate the emotion, the experience, as these emotions and experience come in, the longing, the wanting, the desiring, the is it time, is it not time, assertive tug of war, to not be open to this is unacceptable. So you're assertively, aspect-wise to this, like you're choosing this even though it hurts because it's worth it to you. It's worth it. That your life would be diminished without this. And you know that. You know that. In the receptive, it's a constant balancing of, what is in the shadow aspect and what's in the light aspect. What parts of these two aspects of everyone are you interacting with at any given moment? what is seen and what is unseen, and which aspect is truly driving the interaction, the motivation, the discussion, the decisions, the actions, which is, reflected in that tug of war in the assertive energies as well. But the foundation is very muchly that you know what you want. You know what you want. You know what you're searching for, what you're longing for, what that beautiful, pure, energetic experience is truly what you're after. That is the foundation. That is why all of this is occurring, why you are pursuing this. You're assertive and receptive to this path because of that. And to celebrate is at times kind of hard to do because the longing is so intense. The pain can be so poignant. But you wouldn't have it any other way, in that to not have this truth, you know your life would be dimmer without it. You know that the experience of living life would be less without having this awareness of how alive you are because of this. And it's worth it because you know where you're going, what you're working towards, what you're co-creating. Being receptive to different energies within this dynamic, it can be very challenging, which is why you've chosen to be, to pursue, to open, to ask for guidance. Because the instinct is to protect yourself, is to be very, very, very protective of this memory, of these feelings, of these emotions, to the point of almost neglecting them, in spite of how much this is something that is desired. The instinct is to protect oneself. So to consciously choose to ask for guidance, something that, the previous reading definitely, like, you are a spiritual warrior. You are consciously choosing to assertively pursue being receptive. You're surrendering, knowing you can trust the divine to co-create with you the love and the light that you seek in this reality. Divine is love and light, so why would the divine not be all on board with that, right? So what appears to be something that is so, restricted and repressed to the point of neglect is actually actively seeking to give and to focus on integrating so that the energy can fully focus on giving of the emotion, of the light, of the love. So this is the past influence, very muchly so, the past and the memories. So where are we sitting currently in the present, and what actions, what advice, guidance, knowledge needs to be highlighted for the collective at this time, for the present, and any actions that are currently being taken, underway, in progress, contemplating, acting towards. Okay. So we have the co-creation based upon love, based in and upon love. Okay. And then we have the mourning of what once was, almost to the point of neglecting what can be, moving into seeing the worth present within an equal and balanced give and take. Be the only thing that could turn you from the grief of the past. Okay, what are the assertive energies present within these dynamics for the present and current actions, thoughts, aspects in process at this time? Actions that are currently being taken. Apparently there's been somewhat of a disconnect in an essence of needing time apart from whatever could be triggering in order to gain perspective and understand what's really going on within this dynamic. This is not necessarily like a rejection or a punishment or anything like that. It's just at times people do need to go within in order to heal, in order to process, to gain that necessary perspective to come back to the table ready to fully own whatever they're communicating. In and of the self, especially when you're communicating with Source, Divine, different aspects within your own being, this is something that's needed to gain perspective. To know yourself is the first step, really. And nothing's scarier than looking in your own shadow self. However, you'll find that what's there is really not as scary as you would think. Come the end of it, you consciously choose what stays, what goes, what's alchemized, what's not. Which highlights that, something that you thought couldn't be, even though, oh wow, you definitely really wanted it to come about again, obviously. It's not done. It's not done, and it has not, that self-love is present, and it's there to be shared with other like energies and vibrations. That is love and light there. The divine co-creating with you is highlighting this so that it's consciously something that you're aware of, and thus energies in more assertive aspects around you are possibly displaying this as well. There's definitely, because of what happened in the past, and everybody has a past, we have all been hurt. It's just this aspect was something that was so deep that you felt utterly lost within it, that you would not move for just anything. You would not act or allow any energy to come in and affect you in even a remotely similar fashion, because you are so protective of yourself, and justifiably, because you're still in mourning. So there's a light coming in because you don't want to remain in this state indefinitely. Who would? Who would want to remain there? It's just a very depressing, sad place. Life is more than this, and you know this. You assertively know this. You own that. You know that there's happiness that's possible. So you're embracing this concept, this energy that's coming through in your present, that's possible for, action that is kind of coming about once more. It's no longer tied up with self-doubt, and it's no longer blind to the manipulation of the energy around them. Like, these energies, they may care, and they may not fully understand that they are manipulating subconsciously a way of restricting this energy from being able to see clearly, because the energies around this dynamic don't want things to change. People don't like change, so they seek to keep things as is. But as stated, this is an energy that nobody wants to stay in indefinitely. It's a very depressing, negative state, and there has been a conscious decision to open the eyes to how restricted they are, and they can free themselves as well. So there's a assertive action toward that. However, they're not allowing themselves to come out of this with "it's my way or else." Yes, they're going to come to the table. Even within yourself, you're like, okay, I need X, Y, and Z, but in other words, there's non-negotiables, and then there's being receptive to other individuals being individual. But there's non-negotiables. There's things that are just, they're kind of a hot topic for you. Now, sometimes these very things are things that need healing, and you being open to working on yourself and others reflecting what is needed to assist you in that, being open to that partnership, if you will, that teamwork, is an obstacle that can be overcome. It is a trial, a challenge that strengthens your confidence in self and your confidence in the teamship, the partnership, the teammate. So the receptive aspects is like you're open to this distance, this hermiting, this going within and staying apart, being something of the past, because you know that it was necessary to move towards a brighter, happier future, one of more abundance, one where you're not just connected to divine, but you're also connected to Mother Earth, and that Gaia is, she's got her own soul, she's got her own tap into the divine, and she needs to be heard, she needs to be understood. If we're talking more physical form, it's what's going on in your environment, and what does that say about how the divine is choosing to speak to you through your physical environment, not just, your intuitive understanding and downloads or emotional, mental thoughts, experiences. What is actually happening in your physical reality? So this is something that is definitely grounding into your physical reality. And it's 100% divinely guided. It's co-created. So there is a resistance to taking this leap of faith, this challenge, just blindly jumping in with no indication of anything. There is a definite resistance to moving towards just anything. You're very discerning, you're very picky. It must be something that is balanced in order for you to be inspired to move forward. And it seems like that's something that is definitely being grounded into the reality. That your strength has been found in surrendering the need to control all that is, and allowing the divine to come in and co-create and manifest with you allows you to experience freedom and the eternal experience present within the connection on a more intimate level with the divine energies, the co-creation between 3D and 5D. So what are these, future plans, future goals? What exactly is maybe a little bit of a peek into what is to come here? Oof. So, future plans, right now we have Just a very strong, balanced, assertive leadership that's grounded in being receptive to what's actually going on around you. So it's that quiet, but firmly, let's say like alpha omega-ness, if you will. Like you'll lead, but you want everything to be good. You want everyone to be happy. You want to take care of those that you call and claim yours. So being able to know what energy is needed when and how is a challenge, and it takes time to really learn that give and take. And it's required you to kind of go within and understand the depth of your emotion and how to be assertive with this deep well of feelings and intuitive knowings and rememberings and how they're all connected, that every drop of emotion and feeling is within itself unique and beautiful and allows you to know that you're not alone, that you are connected to others. However remote they are from you, you always have something in common, and that is the human experience. The human experience. So what are the assertive energies present in this this future here? This future planned. Oof. Okay, so interesting. Okay, so this is highlighting the challenges to really overcome. All right, that makes a lot more sense to me. So it's the finding the balance between receptive and assertive energy and really appreciating the power of the epitome of receptive energy. That there is very much the assertive energy present within the epitome of the manifestation of receptive energy. So, back to the previous reading, I really invite anyone who is watching this to watch the previous reading posted earlier, to gain like a little more of the finer details present within that lead to the full understanding and scope of being the spiritual warrior, where you have assertively chosen to empower being receptive. If there were, a card here that would have this label to it, would be the Empress, the Emperor. But predominantly the Empress, but I do prefer to not really gender label the energy. It's about being receptive to and assertive to energies, decisions, actions, not about gender, as we all have assertive and receptive energies presence within us, regardless of our gender. So we can relate to others because we all have this balance in common, this constant fluctuation within the self. So yeah, really, that is the challenge, to seek that balance, understanding it, appreciating the two energies working together and how powerful being receptive and assertive simultaneously is within self, and to see it reflected in others around you. It makes a lot of the trivial, if you will, like sometimes like you get irritated while in traffic because someone didn't use their turn signal, but it was very obvious they were turning, no one was inconvenienced. These are all irritations that are actually symptoms of other things that are far bigger within your life, within you, that are actually irritating you. So it's walking away from what you've been giving your energy to in a deeply emotional way that has allowed it to continue to manifest towards something that's actually worthwhile to you because you know it'll bring you happiness. Even though it'll take work, you know that you're putting your energy towards something that will make you happy. And these trivial things that irritate you aren't going to be irritating you indefinitely because you're actively seeking a life. You're manifesting, you're co-creating a life where these trivial things they're trivial and you know they are in the moment. You're not living with irritation right under the surface in this manifestation. So a lot of these little drops of emotion deep within you, you're assertive in choosing to not give them your power, creating a world where they don't get to have your power as easily because your waters aren't so tumultuous, right? Your feelings, your emotions, your intuition is just not as tumultuous. In the receptive energy present within, your future plans, your future goals, at this time, what do you have to be like really looking forward to manifesting, creating? What needs to kind of come through and be highlighted here in these dynamics for receptive, in particular, energies? Not everything is not necessarily as it seems. To take a moment and not just jump directly to a conclusion, but to choose to observe and kind of soak it in a little bit before you decide what is what. That is wise. That is very wise advice to anyone. There's also a frustration that can be present within this wanting to understand, learn how to appreciate the balance between, assertive and receptive energy, and that power of that being manifested within a leader that genuinely cares to care for those they claim as theirs. Is the process to get from point A to point B is frustrating because they are aware that their energy affects those around them. And they're aware possibly that they're not balanced, and they're possibly frustrated because they don't know how to get from point A to point B, and that frustration itself can be a hindrance to being receptive to the knowledge coming in. So an invitation to meditate, to pray, even if you're basically just venting, to express how you feel to divine, however you choose to do this, can be the very thing that's needed to remove that obstacle. Otherwise, it's going to sit there and it's going to become toxic. This frustration, this passion to move from point A to point B, but feeling like you don't have direction on how to get there is understandably frustrating. Meanwhile, everything is not necessarily as it seems. That's not necessarily helping. So to be able to admit that, hey, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the answer, and I need help to get from point A to point B with this. To be receptive to guidance coming in it's going to be key. As you look back at the way humanity has been structured in a lot of ways, even back to very our roots in indigenous shamanic cultures, their leaders were always, kind of implied to be divinely placed, divinely guided. However they labeled divine, however they chose, to manifest that relationship. To be receptive to guidance is to be, in this position, it's planned for being a better leader, like what you deem to be a better leader for yourself and for those that you care for around you. And through understanding that these little things that are actually just a symptom of what's really been frustrating you are not really the problem, to focus on what's really under the surface, what's really irritating you, to choose to walk away from giving your energy and your power to that situation will allow you to be able to own the balance between being receptive and actively, assertively choosing to be receptive. This will open up your heart chakra. The wisdom of your own emotion and your wisdom of others' experience, and your cup will overflow. Your emotions will become something that you don't feel you're in lack of energy for sharing your energy, for sharing your light, for sharing your love. It's not like a giving, an outpouring. Let's find the right words here. You're trying to give me a specific image here. So, say you're an artist, you're a musician, and you go out and you perform and you sing, and you're just loving singing. You're thoroughly present in the moment and you're enjoying that creation. That is sharing your light. That's showing up. That's creating ripples and being present. Even if it is going out to, coffee twice a week, or going out to a restaurant twice a month, whatever it is where you're a little more present and you're positive and you're happy and you're excited and you're there sharing in something you enjoy, that is an overflowing of your light and love. That is a sharing of it. It's not I'm depleting myself by doing this and now I need to go home and I need to sleep for a week. I need to recuperate. It's a sharing of yourself, of your light, contributing to this reality, of co-creating this reality with others just by being more present. It's beautiful. And that's a goal that I think we could all aspire to. What is kind of unplanned? What does the divine have that's unexpected? Can we take a peek into a little bit of maybe possibly what the surprise might be? And then at this time, what does the collective have to look forward to at this moment, coming out of this huge alchemizing and transformation of understanding of self and energy within self, thus with outside of self. The spiritual warrior battle that has been, this challenge that has been overcome or integrated. There we go, that's a better word, integrated. It's the most likely outcome at this time in the future for this collective. I have a very specific card they want to come out, I guess. I'm very picky. It's good, it's good. Very good. Like things to be clear and concise and not vague. Okay. So things are not necessarily as they seem is coming back to the surface here. With the surprise is what you seek seeks you. What you have been longing for, what you have been keeping all these details or the memory of, really just seeking to retain what that feeling was. Not necessarily the details, the feeling. That is something that is being reciprocated. However secretive, however private, however repressed this may be within this energy, it is something that is present. Surprised they're letting us see that. Ooh. Okay, we got 2 for that one. So in the outcome here, the most likely outcome, being that what you seek is seeking you, you have what you've sat with, this disappointment or this what happened, that it was not something that was able to work, if you will, or be embraced at the time that it first came through or around. What happened? It's the understanding, the learning, the contemplation, not wanting to miss a single detail because it's so important to you that it be something that can actually launch this time. Because it matters so much to you. And that's through seeing all the options, the possible timelines, the possible path that you could take, the different decisions. Maybe you can have a couple of different things and not just one or the other, but what is it that you truly want and what goes into that? And what decisions are you making? What decisions are being co-created? Are being supported? What is your truth? What do you truly desire? Is something that's being revealed to you here and that you're choosing as well. There is a new beginning present because you have taken so much time to reflect and learn, to contemplate. You have a appreciation for this opportunity that is far more profound as a result of this journey from initially having the encounter with this memory that you've held on to it coming back around. There's a sense of longing, a passionate longing and going within to seek these answers. There has been a lot of time of being alone. Well, were you ever truly alone? Can I get some clarifiers for the assertive energy present here? What needs to really be highlighted for the collective within these dynamics of what is the surprise, and then surprise aspect. When manifesting, it is always wise to leave some blank spaces for the divine to manifest surprises for you. In this situation, it really is the constant choosing of light and love, no matter the challenge, no matter how painful, no matter how much you don't understand, no matter how dark it may seem. The choosing, the reaching, it being unacceptable for anything but light and love to be, dominant, present, is allowing for these blank spaces that you've left for the divine to affirm and show love back. To show that you choose light and love chooses you. Okay. There's a tiredness of protecting this memory, this longing, this co-creation, this energy that is manifesting you as you are manifesting it. There's a tiredness to it, but it's been a very vigilant experience for this energy. Because they have protected this. They have retained and guarded it. And they may be a bit, rough around the edges at this point. It may be a bit, easy to tap into very strong emotion because they have been so protected. Exactly. They've been very, very protective of this, very defensive of it. And, they're so focused, so determined. Once that feeling is something that clicks into place, there'll be no question that this is exactly like within you. This is okay. This is it. This is home. This is what I have been doing. This is what I've been doing all of this for. It's not so much about the detail as it is about that feeling, even if some of those details do need to be consistent for that feeling to be there. It's not necessarily your hairstyle or the shirt you're wearing and how it feels on your skin or the temperature that you remember in the air that day. It's not so much about those details. Those details are necessary to focus on to really solidify the feeling. But the who, the what, the where, the when, the why, the how, that's the important detail. Ooh, that is too much. 6 clarifiers under that one. So there's just been a lot present in the contemplation here. You've put a lot of energy and effort into to making sure that you didn't disappoint or hurt yourself or this energy, because you see the hurting of the self, the hurting of this energy is the hurting of self, is the hurting of this energy. It's reciprocated, it's connected, the relationship. Yet again, spooky action at a distance. That came through in the previous reading too, kind of interestingly. Okay. Yeah, because having that happiness is the only thing that's acceptable. So you've put a lot of effort into really looking into this. You've used all of the self, not just, the ego or the conscious self or, the inner child. You've also accessed higher self, you from different timelines, through relationship with divine and source, through understanding and developing relationship with Gaia and the understanding of how divine speaks through Gaia as well as Gaia herself communicates to divine in a way through you. Okay, that's too many. Okay. So with the options, it was really a lot of the different pathways, the different timelines, the contemplation of what this new beginning really looks like for you. It's the turning of the wheel. It's the flipping everything that has been on its head. If you have been experiencing a life of always feeling like you get the short end of the stick, you're the last person picked for the team, if it's that proverbial, high school separating the two teams and everybody picks a person. That is being flipped on its head. And it's because you are not necessarily in this energy of I'm open and receptive, but I'm not taking any shit. I'm not going to suffer your foolish behavior. You are not in your power, but you are now. This is the end result. This is what's going to bring about the outcome of this current situation, which is happiness beyond what you could imagine, because the divine is surprising you. And the divine will probably continue to surprise you because you continue to choose light and love, and you allow the divine to surprise you because you don't say, this is exactly what I want everything to be, down to the most minute of detail. You may use them to support what you truly want, as only to hold on to what you truly want. But you let the details, to an extent, that are more ephemeral, be up to the divine. Because of that, you will have this new beginning. Whatever that new beginning is that you desire, it'll have more than just one facet to it. It won't just be relationships. It could be, money. It could be projects, really. It could be even, children. It could be anything that you're passionate about that truly brings you joy, that helps you to share your light with the world. There's going to be a new beginning in it. Especially if you've asked for it, if you've longed for it. And the receptive aspects to the surprise is you you don't know necessarily what the other energy is getting to, see for the timelines and the options. You don't know that. And you don't know whether or not if this is an individual, believes in even the connection or the feeling or the emotion that what you feel is real. You don't know if they believe that what you're experiencing is also what they're experiencing. You're on the two different sides of the same coin in a sense, where it's, you're going to be surprised that they have been manifesting you, and they're going to be shocked that you've been manifesting them. And that it really is about the love, both aspects. It's not about money, it's about the love. It's not about the money. As, mentioned in the previous reading, like, it's about light and love, and the abundance of the 3D comes as a byproduct to support the proliferation, the spread, the growth of light and love in 3D. This is a wisdom that is present within what is, being reciprocated here, mirrored, if you will. It's not so inverted anymore. It's pretty much like, the surprise is you're very much on the same page. You just didn't necessarily know it. And the outcome, it's moving into opening up, being receptive to being in calmer waters with what once was and what is now, and just the differences, the subtle shifts and changes, but that core feeling is something that is still there, that is present within every aspect of ourselves. There's consistencies, and those consistencies, you're seeing that they're present, even if some of the details are a little different. That this happiness, because of this time to reflect and understand and really become familiar with all the nuances as to why things didn't really work the first time around, why they weren't ready to launch. There was much to be learned. You've gone within with this, and you've been open to that, to healing, to integrating, to transmuting, so that you can be receptive to this happiness coming in. And that you'll, really in the final outcome here, that ability to be able to sit down with this particular aspect and not need to protect your heart, if you will, to know you don't need to, that you are the epitome of what's between you is what you both want. So the love within for self is ultimately what is most desired, because then you have that to share with another, so that they have, you yourself have gone through all these tests, all these challenges. You've integrated, you've learned, you've done all of that, so that when you find another energy that is of like mind, like vibration, has gone through and done the work, you can know that you don't need to be so, you don't need to look at them and think, you know what, I'm going to be guarded against you because you might be foolish and I might need to protect myself from you. You're not going to be on guard like that. You're going to know that this person, this energy, this vibration, this project, this dynamic is not ever going to be like that with you, because you know the pure, the heart, the the memory of what brought you through all of this is there. And that you can always trust. Because divine is present within that as well. Really, I think all of us come to the very basic of our nature. What we desire more than anything is to just have people to be happy and to have others around us be happy. We may really not always show it in a very healthy way, and we may be self-destructive in our frustration and pain. But truly, deeply underneath all of it, we all desire to be happy, and for those we care about to be happy as well. And that will conclude this future reading for the collective after this very long, drawn-out, well-earned challenge that you have integrated into self. Thank you very much for watching this reading, for listening through it, and namaste.